Shirt show. All right, let's go.
Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Shirt man!
All right! Episode 268 of Shirt Show. We're talking with Zach from the WEARhouse in North Carolina. Let's go!
Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Dylan. I am the owner of Upstate Merch and the host of the Shirt Show podcast. My guest today was Zach from the WEARhouse. Great dude. I've met him. He came out to our spring break that we had one year where we were talking about white ink and hot dogs. Keep an eye out for those, by the way. Might bring those back. The funny thing about Zach is he reached out and said that he basically had a long running list on his phone of just stuff that he hears about on the show, things that pop in his head or ideas. And he had a long list of questions that he wanted to ask me, just things that were just general screen printing interest stuff. So I figured it'd be cool to have him on and kind of hear his backstory, but then also give him the chance to ask me some of those questions. So this episode is kind of all over the place, fun origin story from him, and then just a bunch of random ass questions to me. And just, we went off into random tangent conversations. So this is a wild one, but it was fun. It was really good. Zach's a great dude. If you enjoy listening to the Shirt Show, the best thing you could possibly do to support us is to share this episode on your Instagram stories, your Facebook, leave us a comment on YouTube, like it, subscribe. You don't understand how far that helps the show go. It helps other people who don't know about it see it. It helps us just know what you like and don't like. I'm also going to start picking winners each week from people who share things and subscribe and comment. I'm just going to start sending some free shit. So if you do that for me, that would be awesome. And I will try to reward you with some swag or something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe you'll just get some random stuff in the mail. We'll see. If you do want to dive deeper into Shirt Show stuff, there's a new weekly newsletter that we send out. Go to shirtshowofficial.com/newsletter to sign up. I'm talking about the episode that just came out. I'm talking about some stuff in life and whatever's going on with me. I have a shop hack in there. I have a meme in there. I'm going to start trying to get tips and tricks from other people putting in there. It's going to grow and evolve over time. So if you want to sign up now, that'd be great. And then you'll just get them weekly. So check that out if you care. I'd appreciate it. Also, if you're new to screen printing or you've been around and you don't have a group of friends to bounce things off and you just want to get involved, join our Shirt Show Discord. It's shirtshowofficial.com/Discord. You can download the app. You can get it on your desktop computer. It's totally free. It's just an open space that you can talk about screen printing, get tips, tricks. There's lots of channels, everything that has to do with our industry. And it's free and it's fun and it's police. There's no bullying. There's no trolling. There's no whatever. There's no wrong answers. It's a bunch of supportive people. There's a lot of people in there. It's a great place. So come hang out with us. This show would not be possible without our amazing partners. Frank. It all starts with a screen. Whether it's new stretches or restretches, Frank and his team do it the best. To find out more, go to graphicscreenfashion.com, greatfuckingscreens.com, or ffffrank.com. Cleaning screens is no fun, but EasyWay makes it way more funner. Their line of eco-friendly chemicals and equipment make reclaiming screens a whole lot easier. Right now is a great time to check them out because they have a new monthly giveaway where you have a chance to win $250 in product credit. Head over to easyway.com to enter today. EasyWay, it's the easiest way, baby. Graphics is your source for production-ready digital art and remote art staffing. They can help any size shop from just starting out to enterprise level. Looking to add a hero to your art department? Check them out at graphxsource.com. SNS is your premier partner for the apparel industry with one website, one purchase order, and 14 distribution centers and over 100 beloved brands. You can streamline your ordering and hit free freight faster than ever. SNS has 1 to 2 day shipping with the lowest error rate in the industry. Be sure to order your blanks from ssactivewear.com. Today's episode is brought to you by American Apparel, makers of the iconic 2001. Soft, fitted, and always in style, this shirt has been the go-to for brands, bands, and print shops for decades. If you want a shirt people actually want to wear, start with the 2001. For over 90 years, Stahls has been the leading choice among apparel decorators for their heat transfer materials, heat press equipment, and custom transfer services. Not only do they offer some of the best products, but they are always looking to innovate and educate our industry on all things heat press. Head over to stahls.com to order your transfers and check them out on YouTube to be taught a thing or two. Great people, great products. I talk about them all the time, how they are one of those companies who is education forward, and I'm all about that. So if you want to learn about anything to do with heat pressing stuff, check out Stalls. Ryonet has always been that solid go-to resource for screen printers. They got the YouTube channel, they got the website. I mean, it's screenprinting.com, guys. Come on. It's the place to go. Not only are their supplies super reliable, but their network of education and support is next level. Whether you're figuring things out or fine-tuning your process, they got your back. Check them out at screenprinting.com. I want to take a second. I appreciate all of you who are listening. You're watching, whatever you're doing. It means the world to me that you take the time to check this show out, listen to my dumbass talk to you. I love doing this. It's one of my favorite things. And also, I didn't mention it a little while ago, but we hit 5 years.
Yay!
I never brought it up. I realized recently that, oh yeah, I've been doing this for 5 years now. I just want to say thank you. Thanks for keeping the show going. There's a ton of you, and I appreciate all of you, every single one. So thank you for listening. Enjoy the episode, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys. So how's things, man? Thanks for moving things to today instead of yesterday.
Yeah, man. Today actually worked out better with the YMCA. We had like a league start up, and there was like, of course, last minute signups, and they have like, of course, they don't get you what you need until like last minute. And they were like, we need 250 shirts by 5 o'clock today. And this was like Monday. Yeah, it sucks. But I mean, I guess you just kind of roll with the punches, and they've been a long client forever, but I've tried to, I'm like, look guys, we need a little more heads up next time, and next time becomes the next time, but it's all
ends.
good, man. It never ends. Never.
Yeah.
I've got my little 3-year-old, man. I'm like, I tell my wife, I'm like, I don't even know if I want her to get into this just because it's so just last minute cutthroat. Just it's like, man, this is going to probably drive me to my deathbed, honestly.
Well, it's such a weird thing to think about too, because like, imagine if we just got kind of not necessarily handed, but like given a shop that's in the spot that we're in right now, not like something you grew with and like was your baby. I feel like a lot of the drive that we have as owners now is because we've been in it for so long and we know every working part of it. And we knew the struggle that got to here. Like, would you act the same or treat things the same if it just got handed to you and you were like, oh, this is my business now and this is what I do? You'd be like, fuck this. I'm going to go do something else. Like, you wouldn't have you wouldn't be so tied to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we did have some of that because, and I'll get into this later, but we bought out an existing shop back in 2019. Like it was literally the first day going into 2020. And it was right before COVID. Gotta love that. And but it actually was good because we essentially doubled the business overnight. And like it was like me and the old owner were like, man, if we didn't have each other's business, like each other's kind of book of business coming in, we might have both not made it just because it was, such a tight time during that time. But we weathered the storm.
Well, I would say I have a lot of things to talk to you about, but I got your notes and I'm more going to let you fucking run this interview because you're the one with all the questions.
I was like thinking, man, I could treat this like a Theo Vaughn interview or something and just hit you with some random off the wall questions.
I'm totally down. The thing is I read through them all and I was like, he's got the questions. Like, I'm just going to be the attendee today. But before we get to that, good, because I got them here too. Yeah. I'm glad you have them in front of you. Give me your backstory. I want to hear like how you got into this and you bought a business right before COVID and give me the gist.
Well, so I grew up in a little small town. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was always kind of, riding four-wheelers, had the big trucks and, fabricated on stuff. And thought I was going to be a welder for a while. And then I was like, but I always took art class and I loved it. And it was, I think my first shirt was it was like a class contest kind of thing. It was did y'all have powder puff in high school? Like where the chicks would play football and the guys would be the cheerleaders?
Yeah, I think so. It wasn't my speed. It wasn't my thing, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it existed.
But I was like, drew something off the wall, like guys were pole dancing down the field goal of the football stadium, and
Seems
the girls
appropriate for school. Yeah.
yeah, just
We don't need to super get into this, but yeah, I was very much like the art kid in school. Like my kids now had like technology and shit. Like we were just getting computers and all this other stuff. And I spent most of my time like drawing in my bedroom. Like that was what I did for something to do. And then it's funny, like as I got into like high school and stuff, there was all these other, you had to have been into it too, because of the shit you're drawing and getting away with at school. Remember like the Big Johnson shirts?
Oh,
and like,
yes.
Yeah. That was that. What I'm getting is that's your speed. Like,
yeah, it was off the wall, just weird, just kind of fun stuff though. I mean, I always kept it in the road, but you got to keep it,
I probably had 4 or 5 shirts in my high school existence that they made me turn inside out.
Yeah.
Like, my stepdad had like a ton of Big Johnson shirts. And I remember I would find like the best ones and I would wear those to school and get in trouble.
Right.
But, that's how you grow up.
Yeah, man.
So anyway, you're in art. I got to keep you on track. You're into art, and then you go to high school. What happens after that?
I was kind of indecisive. I wanted to do industrial design, but I changed my major like literally the orientation day to graphic design just because it was more 3-dimensional, and I could actually use my creative weird mind and probably run with different cool things rather than keeping it in the road more. But it was East Carolina University, and it was cool, man. I actually love the art department there because they wanted you to really kind of get into the fundamentals of it all to really know if you were wanting to do what you came there to do. So, I mean, I took letterpress, I took printmaking, and they had an intro to screen printing class.
That's so awesome. I wish my school had that shit.
Honestly, the intro to screen printing class, that was probably what kind of, that real life moment where it kind of things start to click like, oh my gosh, this might be what I could see myself doing forever.
Yeah.
But it was funny. My grandpa, he was, it was kind of funny. I came from, it's like, I looked out. I mean, all my family's kind of been like entrepreneurs and stuff. And my grandpa was always been a role model. And he was like, I told him I was going to be an art major, and he was like a civil engineer, like all throughout his life. And he was like, you can be an art major, but whatever you do, you have to mass produce something. Don't be a starving artist. No, sir. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? And honestly,
it hard because now you're mass producing apparel. So,
and that's literally the instructor was like, you can print, blah, 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 many t-shirts an hour. And, you can print whatever media you want. It doesn't have to be t-shirts. And, so, I mean, we learned, it was pretty cool. I think my first screen print was like there was probably some bull crap pulls for a couple projects, but my first real one was like North Carolina is pretty big on like the moonshiners and stuff. And there was an old moonshiner named Popcorn Sutton, and he had like an old model. Yeah, he had a Model T old Ford truck, and there's a mason jar pulled over, it's pouring out, and it's like the liquor is just kind of flowing down the print. But that's
awesome.
That's really cool, man. I've got it hanging up in my house, and
I wish I had the old stuff like that. If you're listening to this and you're like you're newly into printing or newly into starting a business, like take video and photo of everything, like keep memorable moment stuff. Like I have next to nothing. Like every so often, like when we turned 15 or something, I made a post and it was like, I had one picture maybe of like when we first started. Like, I think when you do that, when you're in it, you're not like, oh, I need all this proof. I need like whatever. Now I do like a little project around the shop and I take like 100 photos and put them in a catalog, like in my drive. That's like, rebuild of this or something, so that later I can look and be like, oh my God, this is what this looked like before.
Yeah.
But those early days, I have nothing. And they were the most fun times too. It was like the most like wild, like, why did we do this? Why did we have this? And I have like no proof of any of it.
Dude, I thought it was awesome. So, but I got into the scene with like, I've heard like the fraternity, sorority scene where like, I joined a fraternity and I, kind of started doing merch that way. And it was crazy, man. I mean, people were charging, $25 for a t-shirt, and we were printing. I mean, gosh, there was probably 200 shirts at a time we'd be printing sometimes. And I was like, you're selling these things for $25. And he was, the guy back home was quoting it just like a small town order. He's like, $7, something cheap. And I was like, wait a minute. That's just the t-shirt or the print? And he's like, oh, that's everything. And so I just started saving up for, bar tabs for the first thing I'd put my money towards. And then it was like, I had a savings account for, some, because I wanted to try the DIY screen printing kit. And I think I got one off eBay for, I don't know, $400 or $500 or something. And it was like the shittiest press you could ever buy. I mean, it was blue and it had like yellow rollers where the screen, the print arms would slide in. And, literally nothing would stay in register whatsoever. But one color prints looked really good. So,
I think we've talked about this before, but I think that's one of the coolest things about our industry too. Like there's a catch-22 with it is like, you can just see the opportunity and be an artistic person and be like, I want to get into printing. And for a couple $100, you can get into it. Like you could be printing this weekend, basically, with a couple $100 in your pocket and get a screen printing kit. But the other side of that is that now we have a ton of people into it that are underquoting the shit out of everything. And then the people who have legit businesses are fighting against the person who's doing shirts in their basement on their blue press with the yellow print arms that they got on eBay for $150. But I like that the people who actually have the spirit and want to grow and be into a real business can get into it and start without it being this crazy commitment. It lets a lot of us artistic, wild DIYers be able to start something. So it's pretty cool.
So I graduated college and still kind of had there was a point we were doing like probably at least half of the fraternity sorority scene stuff for the school. Like I shit you not, like it was pretty good money. So that's why I was like, hell, I can do this and not have to touch a thing and just kind of sell it, And
the funny thing is, I feel like I know there's the companies out there like the Campus Incs and all this other stuff that kind of do a lot of stuff for sororities, fraternities, like all these other things. But there's always those guys that are going to that school, like yourself, that get in with all these other leagues or whatever it is, and they can make like a killing just doing that stuff if they know what they're talking about. I remember probably 12 years ago now, there was this company. It was these two guys, Chris, and I can't remember the other guy's name. It doesn't matter. It was called 1897. And I don't know anything about these schools. It was like Sigma Pi, something, whatever. And they killed it. Like they were a big part of my business back then because they were just selling and selling. It was like an event like every weekend. And it was like all these different, groups and whatever. And they would be like, oh, we need this. We need 100 of this. We need 200 of this. We need whatever. And it was like you said, like they're charging $25 a shirt or something. So even if I gave them a normal price or whatever, there wasn't ever like a discount worry. It was always like, oh, charge me a rush or whatever, because it was always on the fly. It was always quickly. And they destroyed. And I'm like, they rode that out basically till they graduated. And then it was like, well, we're not at the school anymore. We don't know these people. Like, how do we keep this going? And then I think one now is like a banker and one's like, doing something else. And it's like, for a good 4 years, they had this raging shirt company. Yeah. And it was pretty sweet.
Yeah. And that's basically was I. And so one of the guys that I knew from school, his dad is kind of funny. Like North Carolina, I love living in North Carolina. Like it's like the hub for everything, because you're halfway up north, you're halfway down south, and you can ship stuff fast, blah, blah, blah. And like my buddy's dad was like the guy that cleaned all the like drums for Rutland. And he was like in kind of near Charlotte. And he's like, man, we've got this random equipment over here that's got like a glass on top, and this one thing's got a conveyor belt. Like, I don't know what the hell it is, but it's in our way. Like, you want it? I think it might have something to do with t-shirts. And I was like, awesome. Yeah. I was like, it was a badass exposure unit that I guess that Rutland used for like demo. Like, I guess when they did trade shows, they had like a whole trade show booth over there and all these little a little buddy dryer, and it didn't have a press, but I found like an old, like, it looked like a rotary wheel Riley Hopkins. It was like a yellow and blue old Riley, and
The old Rileys,
that was my baby, man. I love that press, and I had that, and it was kind of funny, like. So it gets a little deep right here, but this is kind of what kind of put another fire under me. So I went up to get that guy's equipment, my buddy in Charlotte, and I was probably an hour and a half away. And it was like a weekend, and we made a trip out of it, and came back like the next day. And it was actually a Thursday night, I remember, because I came back Friday morning, and my dad, he did like the high school refereeing, and he was a big scuba diver. And outdoors was like something our family just loved. And and so like Friday he comes, and he's like, he had a landscaping business, and that's like all I did growing up was work outside and just bust my hump. And but I was like, hey, Dad, before you go to your refereeing thing, can you help me unload this equipment off the trailer with a skid steer with a fork attachments to it, and because it was on pallets. And he was like, damn it. He's like, yeah. He's like, I got you. I got to be there. I got to be somewhere soon, though. And
Dad's always in a hurry.
Always in a hurry. And he was going to referee a high school football game, and then he was driving down to the beach right after to be on like a wreck dive like the next morning on Saturday. And so he helped me unload all that stuff, and I could tell he was pissed off, like just trying to, in a hurry. And I was like, love you, Dad, just, trying to be nice. And he's like, love you, son. And that weekend, man, he actually passed away in a scuba diving accident. He had like a heart attack underwater. And
was that the next day?
Yeah, literally. And it was crazy, man. Like, I mean, they did the autopsy, and it was like, he had an enlarged heart and, clogged arteries. I mean, he was just one of these stubborn guys that never went to the doctor, and kind of like he was run his own business and was like, I don't have time and money to go to the doctor. I'm just going to walk it off. And that's why he did refereeing, was because he, thought running down the field,
was his exercise. Yeah.
And
we did. He lived.
It was crazy, man. And
being an outsider, just hearing the story is pretty sweet, because I feel like even up until now, like everything that's happened to you was like weird universe push stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like being in art, and then you were the guy that did this and that, and then getting into the school, you were the guy that did this and that, and then came across, printing stuff, and then you just know somebody who knows somebody who got you a bunch of equipment ready, and then your dad is the one to help you the day before he passes, is pretty fucking awesome.
And if like the exposure unit had like had the sides, it had like a door that you could open up to, get all to the electrical components. And it was kind of funny that he was such in a hurry that the door swung out. I guess it didn't have a bolt in it or something. And we had like an automatic garage door, and the door came down and just smashed that the arm the door that swung out, and like I never fixed that. I bent it back so it would close, but like I think I like drew on it, and it was like, Dad did this. And
got to keep that for forever now,
dude. That exposure was such a freaking. I mean, it was huge, man. You could put probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 screens on that thing, and so I ended up selling it just because I didn't have any space. But I made sure it went to a good dude. But
that's crazy.
But I was kind of doing that, still doing the fraternity, sorority stuff and organizations on campus. I had, and the funny thing was, everybody said my stuff always kind of looked like like a Guy Harvey or a Salt Life, just kind of had that kind of outdoorsy hand stippling drawing, kind of like watercolor look to it. And
do you still do that now? Do you still like do art and draw stuff, or do you phase out of it?
Nick Wood kind of spooled me with graphics. I will say that. I have a pretty badass artist, man. Shout out Rigoberto. And he's kind of my right hand man now, man. I kind of treat myself treated as like a creative director, and I just like shoot prompts and, a ton of stuff that I want it to look like. And I mean, with a couple revisions, it's pretty spot on.
I kind of wish I still did. Like there was a time, I don't know, 5-10 years ago or something where I got like an iPad and a pencil and stuff and was like, oh, I'm gonna get back into drawing. I just don't have the time. Like I have so much stuff going on that like I don't know. I wish I still could. Like I just don't feel like I have the chops anymore either. Like it's not. Sometimes you just gotta let some of those dreams die and like focus on the other stuff.
Yeah. And that was kind of like, so that was like, since I wasn't employed after college, I was like, man, I'm going to try to do this apparel line thing. I mean, every screen renter's first desire is they want to make an apparel brand and they want to sell thousands and thousands of shirts. And it was called Windward Drift. And it was kind of cool. Like, yes, my uncle was a big sailboat guy, and he kind of helped me brainstorm. And Dad was I was doing concepts before he passed away, and because a lot of that stuff was going into my shirts I was doing for these organizations on campus. And he was like, man, I love that one, and this one, this one, this one. So he had a lot of say in some of that stuff too. And so I was like, I got to do an apparel brand like after he passed. And it was like Windward's like what pushes the wind pushing against the boat, like pushing you back to land. So that was kind of like the land side of it, like the hunting, and and then drift was what pushed you out to sea. So that was like the fishing and that kind of stuff. So I thought it was a cool brand name. And I had that went strong for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And then when I bought out this shop, it was just, I got consumed in the custom market. And it's just, I loved having the inventory not there, because having the brand, you had to keep so much inventory, and you didn't want to set up another 6-color design for 1 2XL that you ran out of stock in. And
I think though too, like even though you might not still have that brand, like doing a brand, even if you don't necessarily want to, is a great exercise in finding out what works and what doesn't work. Because I think a lot of us, especially me, like I started one, I don't know, a couple of years ago now, and I was doing it as an experiment of like, okay, I want to see like what's actually doable, what's not doable. Like I had this notion of like, okay, I'm just going to make cool designs and people are just going to buy stuff. And then I made all these cool designs. I mean, Instagram, I posted stuff, whatever. And it was like, I sold some stuff, but like, honestly, no one really gave too much of a shit. Like, I feel like if I would have had models and then went to like shows and I went to like fairs and this and I like pushed it hard, I bet it would do really well. But that's what I came to the realization of, like, you need to be fully in this in order for this to work. You can't just do this side project and just like, if you build it, kind of thing. And then it just doesn't work that way. So I feel like you really need to dedicate all this time and energy to it in order for it to grow. So it really kind of put me in a place to respect when brands come to us of like, what's going to work and what's not. You know what I mean? Like people will just give you logos. Well, I say logos, but just like some type they downloaded from DeFont and be like, oh, just the name of their company. And I'm like, guys, I really don't. Like, I know you're new and you don't know what's what, but like, this is not going to move. Like, it's not what you think it is. But I got a lot of that from doing my own thing. And I don't think I would have had that if I didn't.
Dude, and I think you said it multiple times, but I've tried to repeat it because it's so true. Like you were talking about these people coming in and like after they get their tax refunds and stuff, like, well, I want to do this brand and I want to do this and that. And I started using what you say. I'm like, man, I know you want to put this money into it, and but let's just start small. Like,
right. It's so hard to see them just blow all their money. And the business part of you is like, oh, I'll take their money. But the reality is like, I feel for these people and I can't let them spend all this money on shit that I know isn't going to work. That was one of the most like cringy moments I've ever been in front of. I don't know if I ever talked about this on the show, and I probably shouldn't talk about people in this manner, but it was just like, it was so embarrassing. Like the day I printed the shirts and gave them to them, God, I don't know if I should talk about this. I probably shouldn't. But
you're all like, in now.
The brand was called Hand to Hand. It was like some kind of like martial arts. Like they were just guys that were into whatever. And literally, it was after work hours. They wanted to pick up, and we went to my house. And they showed up like in my driveway, and I had the boxes in the back of my car, and I like got them out to give them or whatever. And the guys like were so excited to open the boxes, and they opened the box and they pulled the shirts up, and they're like giddy and excited, and they dropped the shirts in the box, look at each other, and they locked eyes and said hand to hand, and like literally fucking locked hands in front of me. And I was like, I melted. Like I was just like, I was Homer Simpson in the bushes. Like this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, but again, this was the company where I was just like, guys, do not spend your entire fucking tax return on this. And it was just like, I feel for it's, again, like you learn from experiences of like, okay, like they're not around anymore. Like they never reordered anything, and it's not like they went somewhere else. They just didn't sell any of the shirts that they got. So,
right.
I don't know. Anyway, we went off on a tangent from you starting a brand. So were you just kind of doing this as a smaller startup business thing, and then you got this opportunity, I guess, pre-COVID?
So when I graduated, I guess it was 20. I'm trying to think of dates here. So I graduated college in 2014, and I took a victory lap, and because I did do a minor in business, and it was. I'm glad I did, because it helped kind of do a business plan on what I kind of thought, envisioned the print shop would look like. And it was good, man. And I kind of always told myself, like, I'm going to try to find a shop and try to do it for 5 years. And if it, everybody says you don't make money the first couple of years, which we did. I mean, it wasn't much, but I mean, we kept going forward. But we found I was printing in our garage. We had like a little, 2-bay garage up top, and at my house I grew up in. And Mom was like, "I'm tired of scraping snow off my car. You need a shop." So I found a 1,200 square foot shop that was actually in like the heart of downtown. Like we have a little downtown scene where, people kind of walk by, and there's fall festivals and that kind of stuff. And it was, I fell in love with it, man. And that's kind of really where I kind of, made a name for myself, and was, it was badass, man. Like I know other printers are like, dude, I don't know how you got that much done in that little space. Cause we had like the Riley that I was talking about, and we had a workhorse press, and we had like a little 6-foot, quartz dryer in the middle. And, then we had the 6-head embroidery machine that was like right behind the dryer. And I had the retail up front with the Wimmer drift stuff. And I had like barn doors that it was like saloon doors that you just went back and you were at the print shop. But and like you said, the designs were the retail apparel brand designs were kind of what sold us on like jobs, because people were like, "Hey, can you do something like this for my company?" They want
their stuff to look like that stuff.
Yes.
Yep, for sure.
And we were in such a small town that like no one was. I mean, the guy I bought out was just, he was a big Corel Draw guy and just had clip art galore, and just, oh my gosh, you can actually make this look pretty cool. And it's so funny how like it all, like you say, kind of falls into place. Like the old shop owner of this place, I subbed that embroidery work out to him for a while, and I'd keep up with him. I mean, we were friends, and, he said, "Man, you need to buy me out, man. You need to buy me out. Like I'm tired. I'm an old burnout man, and I'm ready to get out of this thing." And once I started kind of pricing, like building a shop, even old buildings that were, in town, like it was hard to find a really good commercial, like metal, brick and mortar business. But I told him, I said, "Hey man, like, were you serious about selling out?" And, he was like, "Do you want to buy me out, or do you want to buy me and my sister?" And I was like, "Dude, I want the whole thing, man. Like, just give me a price, like work some numbers together." And, and it was pretty crazy. I mean, it was technically you had to buy the building was one sale, the book of business was another sale, and then the equipment of what they had was another sale. So it was like 3 loans technically. And a book of business doesn't have really they can't repo your book of business, so I had to pay that up front, which was kind of it wasn't a big kicker, but all that together was cheaper than doing the new building thing.
Yeah.
And
do you mind talking about the book of business sale? Like I've always questioned that whole thing, especially now. Like, I feel like back in the day before computers and internet and everything else, like a book of business meant something because you had all the art files and you had this and this. You had basically something over these customers where it was way more inconvenient for them to leave you than it was to just like keep going through you. I feel like nowadays it's so easy to hop between print shop to print shop to print shop, and it doesn't matter. There's no loyalty necessarily. Like, a lot of people have a relationship with that printer, and then if that printer leaves, like, that was the only thing that tied them to that place, is that human being or their connection or whatever. And then they'll just go to another print shop. So like, I had the opportunity to buy a shop a little while ago, and they wanted to sell me this book of business. And I had to just be like, hey, like, I don't think the book of business is worth dick. Like, and I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I didn't say this to them, but like internally I was like, I will buy your equipment. Like, the building wasn't a thing. It was just like equipment and book of business. And it was like, and they gave me like a printout of like what all the equipment would be worth, and then like the book of business, what they wanted, and the name and everything else. I was like, I don't care about the name. I don't care about the book of business. I literally just want the equipment. And like, they were going to have the expertise to train me for 2 months was the agreement, or whatever it was. It was all that embroidery stuff that I was going through. And I was just like, the book of business isn't worth anything. Like, in reality, we're in the same town. Like, if you go away, they're just going to come to me anyway. Like, why would I spend whatever it was, $80,000 or something on a book of business, and for nothing? So like, what was your experience with that book of business? Did those people stick around? Did it make its money back?
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Really, since there was kind of already like a relationship with me and this family, the shop was a stupid deal. Like, I'm talking, I mean, this is before COVID, before real estate just went up through the roof. They gave me the building at tax value, and it was the same price they paid for it when they bought it back in like 2000 or something.
Right. And now it's already retrofitted for a print shop.
Oh yeah. And it was like a metal shop before that. So like, dude, we had 3-phase running in there. I mean, I still got awesome. 200 amps of service that I'm not even using.
Yeah. 3-phase alone, like, if you have to put that in, is super expensive.
Oh, so. It's stupid. It's like I priced that out. It was like $8,000 to run it just to the doorstep where I was going to build a shop. It was crazy. Yeah. And, but yeah, so there was a lot of like, okay, well, the building's, dirt cheap. That's good. The book of business, I was kind of like you. I was like, man, if you go away, it's just going to kind of fall in my lap anyways. And so we negotiated some, but I mean, it was, I don't know. I kind of just like ate some of it just because I knew that I was getting
feel like part of it is that, like, you want to give them their dignity kind of thing. And it's also like, you live in this town, you have to see these people, you have to know these people. Like, what happened if you were a dick in the sale and we're like, hey, I got you over a barrel, I'll buy this, but I won't buy this. And then those people kind of feel obligated to take it because they need the money, they want to get out, whatever. And then it sours your name around town because you just swiped this out from under them or something and took their business anyway. Like, I don't think that's worth it. Like, sometimes it's worth the extra investment to keep all that. I just feel like in my case, it wasn't that. It was just, I don't need what you're selling. I'm only willing to buy it because it, like you said, it was just a deal that it would be a sweet deal if I could have just bought the equipment and had someone to train for 2 months. Like, it was like, I didn't want to pass that up. But I wasn't going to spend all this extra money on something that I didn't really need. So it didn't really work out. But do you think that those customers stayed anyway?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the good thing is I did keep them on payroll for like, they're actually here for about literally up until last year. And it was to the point where we were automating, and I've kind of heard Stephen Farrig talk about it. Like, he's like, the old owner, he would just coat screens all day. And that was kind of like what the old owner did here. He just coated screens all day and was like, I don't care what you spend on a coder, I can code them just as good and just as fast, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, buddy. And it just came to where, we automated and we got you got the screen coder, and we got a bunch of, it was really where he was just part of sales, and that's kind of where it turned to. Is I was like, man, like we're good in the back. Like my production guys, they're killing it, man. Like kind of just stay out of their way. And I was the same way. Like if I went back there, you know it. Sometimes you just get in their way, and they're like, dude, just go back up in your office.
Yeah,
like,
it's so hurtful at the same time, but you're also proud that you don't need to be out there. Yeah,
right.
I get that, really.
But and I'm just like, dude, as long as shirts are hit, like when shirts hit the belt, and I want jobs lined up that are ready to go after that, and as long as we can keep this flow going, I mean, that's, to me, it's like, dude, that's how this business will make money. And but it's kind of where I turned I tried to the old owner. I was like, hey man, like I'll kind of start doing a commission structure, and whatever sales you bring in, I'll give you X amount of each order. And we had like an ongoing spreadsheet. We would we use Printavo, so like it would be attached to his name, like what orders he was bringing in. And but the funny thing was, I mean, I had to get down. It was kind of not funny. I was like, hey man, like the orders that you're claiming are yours. It kind of sounds like a dickheaded thing to say, but like that was part of that book of business that I bought out from you. So that, AKA those customers are kind of mine now. Right, and that was where it became awkward. I was like, dude, like you got to bring in new people. Like that's what I'm paying you for. And
it's got to be awkward. I had this
was.
discussion yesterday too, because I was talking to the person who bought this embroidery stuff or whatever. And it's like, they're still working there, even though, or in the same building. Like it's sold, but that lady who sold it still owns the building, is doing another business in that building. And it's like, they're constantly walking by each other and like looking at the other thing. And it's like, this isn't yours anymore. Like, this is my thing. Like, if I'm going to do this one way, you can't butt in and be like, well, you should do this. You should do this. And it's like, this isn't yours. Like, this is mine now. Yeah. Like, this is how I want to do this. Did you run into a lot of that?
Yeah. And the sister was a tough one. She was a pistol. I'll put it this way. Old Marcotte came down here for some little bit, do some consulting per se. And it was funny. He's like, dude, I can tell you, there's a couple people that got to go like tomorrow. And I was like, oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah. And he's like, man, I'm not telling you to. He's like, but just, you just got to watch out. And
sometimes it's nice to get that outside perspective to be like, oh yeah, this is what I thought I should do anyway. I do want to get into your list. I want you to look at it and ask me some of these things that are on top of, because it's interesting. You're the first to have as big of a list to be like, these are things I'm curious and I want to ask you. The funny thing is a lot of them were like brain dump. Like they're not in any specific order. It's just like thought after thought after thought after thought.
Yeah. Oh, and that's what it was. It was an ongoing like list that I just kept in my phone. And I was like, well,
before we get into this, since the sale, everything's been good, right? Like, I mean, COVID happened and all that shit, but like you're doing all right.
It's at the point now where I'm trying to like, I'm trying to like, I got two awesome production guys, and like, I'm like, man, like you guys got to live good, man. Like I've kind of started to live a little easier, and you guys are next. I hadn't forgot about you, and because I mean, I'm big on team morale, and hell yeah. So when you pay your guys more, you don't think about it, but shit hurts a little bit when it's when you're trying to budget and all that stuff. Right. And I've tried to do some like consulting with like, I've had Marshall Atkinson I've talked to him about some stuff, and it kind of goes back to the the print profit guy. He's like, you got to get your expenses of what it costs to run your shop a day, and then obviously your orders equal it out, and then you're in profit land, as he calls it. But I kind of took that to heart a little bit with what I've done here, and just like, it's nerve wracking when it comes down to what it costs you to run a print shop for, by the minute. I mean, ours, I don't care, talk numbers. It's like $7.20 to run every minute to run this place. And shit scares you, man.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't want to know that number. You ever have that feeling?
No.
I'm going to say this, and I wonder how many people listening have the same thing. And if you do have the same thing, leave a message in the comments or something. But like, how many times do you wake up in the morning or you go through your day and you need to check your bank account but you don't want to. Like you literally stop yourself from doing it because you actually don't want to know what that number is. And you're just like, well, ignorance is bliss in this point. Like, I'm just going to leave it alone. Like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to whatever. I have that feeling. I have that feeling often where I'm just like, nah, I'd rather not know. I don't want to ruin my day right now.
And that's the thing, dude. And like, I hate to say it, but it's like, man, like the whole high blood pressure and, you know, all that stuff runs in the family. And I'm like, dude, like sometimes I just kind of, I don't really want to know those numbers. I'd just rather just go with the flow and print shirts and hopefully we make money.
Dude, a couple of years ago, I got really into walking and I also got really into like figuring out what vitamins I need to take and this and that. And I started looking at like, I don't take any like over the counter, you know, prescription drugs or anything for like cholesterol or whatever. Like I started looking at like, what can I take that's more of a vitamin or a supplement or something to do all that. And I feel like my dad and my brother are like having all these health issues and all these other things. And I'm kind of like, I'm going to get something now that I said it out loud, but like knock on wood. But I feel like actually doing these things and taking these daily walks, for super mental clarity of like, I get an hour to myself of just like chilling, being outside, but also like actually taking care of myself to a degree is a huge thing that I feel like every business owner should do, because I know that stress, I know that feeling, I know that pain, but like it fucking helps so much to like have those things to like at least help to a degree, like get your head on right.
Yeah. Marcotte told me, he said, dude, he's like, you need to take like at least 30, 45 minutes out of your day where you just put your phone down and don't focus, just literally have alone time and just like go walk.
That's what it is for me.
Work out.
Yep, for sure. Yep. It'll change everything. All right. You got your list? Is it printed?
I have the list. So.
Okay, run it through. So for the people listening, Zach hit me up with an email like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago, a week ago, whatever, of like, hey, I listened to the show. I've been keeping notes and whatever, and here's some things that we might want to talk about, or just things that popped into my head. And it wasn't like 4 or 5 notes. It was like, I just heard you printing this off. Was it like 5 or 6 sheets that came off?
Yes, probably. I think you're.
So I looked at these back when he sent it, and then I looked at it again today, and I was like, I'm just going to let him run through some of these. Like, I feel like a good amount of them we talked about, but there's some things in there that I really would like to have you bring up as a topic or whatever. So let's do it here for a little while.
Okay. So question 1, Dylan.
Uh-huh.
What do you love besides printing awesome shirts all day and seeing the squeegee print color to color goodness all day?
Hell of a question. I love watching movies. I watch a shitload of movies. I watch a shitload of shows. I love hiking, being outside. I spend a lot of time hanging out with my friends. That's like a big priority to me. The people that I have that are my best friends that work here have been with me here forever. We literally schedule nights weekly where we just hang out and make time for us. So like, it's really important to me to have like specific times. Like me and Bill went to a show yesterday. Tonight, we're going to go to the fair and watch Demolition Derby. Like, nice. I take time. I spend a lot of time with my kids, but I also make sure I spend a lot of time with friends. So friends, movies, I say concerts or shows, and screen printing is basically my entire life. And hanging out with Christina all the time. So that's my all encompassing
work-life balance. I like it. So this is, off the other, totally different spectrum. What's the craziest employee you've ever had?
Oh, dude. Craziest employee. We had a guy, I feel like all the crazy ones are the ones, well, I can't say that. Most of the crazy ones that we've had have been in that trial week where it's like we find out that they are a fucking psychopath. We had a guy once that we hired. He wasn't quite hired. He was in the trial week. And we found out he was a meth head, and he was going to the bathroom probably once an hour for at least 20 minutes at a time. And it was fucking hilarious because that was back when we were a manual shop. We had 4 manuals, and Kyle was here, teaching him how to manually print or whatever. And the guy was that was part of the thing, because he said he knew how to print or something. And he was printing a job, but he was taking forever. And he kept taking these huge bathroom breaks. So anyway, it was funny. Like Kyle was standing there every time he went to the bathroom. Kyle would load and print as fast as he could because the goal was once this guy's stack of shirts was done, he could go home for the day. And every time he went to the bathroom, Kyle was like loading, printing, like trying to get this job done just so we could take this guy home. And then it's on the drive home because he asked me, he's like, will you take him home? I'm like, nah, dude, like my half of the business is in the office. Your half of the business is production. Like you have to drive him home. So he drove him home and then like let him go on the drive home. And it was just like, oh my God, like people who do drugs, crazy. Man, like I'm sorry if you're in it and you're trying to get better, but like fucking A, dude. It's nuts. Like itchy, scratchy, like just all over the place. Like it's something. So I would, without throwing anybody I still know under the bus, like that guy, fucking wild.
Yeah. The next one's kind of the next one says, Dylan, why don't you drink? LOL, running a business is bonkers.
Well, that's hella. That's a deep story. Anyway,
pass. We can do pass. That's fine.
No. It's fine. I grew up around alcohol a lot, and I just decided. Well, it's twofold. One, like I think it tastes disgusting. Like I'm not into it at all. I will never just drink beer like ever. I don't drink, and I'm not that guy who's like fucking X till death, like straight edge, whatever. Like I was in the hardcore scene, and that was a whole big thing. I will have alcohol. Like if I'm out with, say I saw you and we were out at a show and everyone's like, oh, we want to do shots, like celebratory, whatever. Like I will have one, but I won't have another one. I won't have like some drink in my hand, whatever. Like I will have a water, iced tea is my biggest thing. I drink probably fucking 2 gallons of iced tea a day. Like that's my drug of choice, I guess, is iced tea and caffeine. Nice. But I just don't dig alcohol. I don't like what happens to people when they drink. They take it too far. I don't like the lifestyle. I see a lot of people I know that their whole life is just going to the bar, and it really fucking bums me out. So that's the lighthearted version of that story. Is I don't really care for it.
Nice. Okay. Next question. Do you charge more for oversized prints?
50 cents.
50 cents more.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's good. I've had the reason why is because man, we've got a pretty big contract customer. And it's like I just noticed their like designs kept getting bigger and bigger, and I was like, dude, man, we're using like a gallon of ink every time we print your shit. Man.
I don't know if 50 cents is what I should be charging for that, but the thing is that it's been what it's been for me since the very beginning when we first started. I probably should change that number at this point because we're using bigger screens, whatever. But in reality, we have both 2536 and 2331 screens coded all the time because we're using them all the time. It's really no different for us to print a 15 by 20 inch print as it is for us to print a 11 by 11 print. So it's not really that big of a deal. We say 50 cents a shirt just because it offsets like the more emulsion we're using, the more chemical we're going to have to use to reclaim it, whatever. It's not really a huge deal. I grew up, my entire existence career has been oversized printing because when I first started, every band wanted every shirt to be as big as humanly possible. We don't really do it's been out of style for a long time, and I kind of hope it doesn't come back. Like I don't mind doing them, but like I feel like for the first 10 years, every other print was oversized. Now it's like, I don't see it as much anymore. I love the style a couple of years ago. It was like everything, even bands, it was like left chest back. Yeah. Like I have a left chest on right now. Like you have a left chest on right now. It's like, I think the classic dad fucking left chest and back is the way to go. But that's also where I am in my life right now too. I probably wouldn't have said that when I was 22 years old.
Do you have a daily routine you always do?
When I'm home, it's go get up in the morning, go to the lake, walk, get my 3.2 miles in, and then I get breakfast sandwiches. I come back to work. I watch probably 15, 20 minutes worth of YouTube videos while I eat, and then I start working. And that's my day. That's how I start my day. That's how I get me time in the morning and get my brain right for the day. And then I will work as long as I feel like it. Sometimes I go home at 5 o'clock. Sometimes I go home at 10 o'clock, like whatever. I'm just here until whatever. But my life for the last couple of years has been a shitload of traveling. So when I get 2 to 3 weeks or a week and a half at home to keep that routine, it means so much to me because I am a creature of routine. Like I feel centered when I have routine. When I don't have routine and I'm traveling all the time, I feel so fucking off and weird. I don't like it. I'm getting used to it.
Of habit. It's crazy. I'll do the email thing at like 6:30 in the morning and then go to work and just like, I mean, I feel like all I do is just like make sure bodies are moving all day and like I kind of like, hey, did this get done or why aren't we doing this? And just kind of make sure it is going. And then, it's like I kind of just go back and forth from office to there. And then, sometimes it's 5 o'clock, sometimes it's 7 or 8 o'clock, but I try not to stay much longer than that.
You're here for as long as it takes. It's a 24/7 thing.
Yep. But Craigslist finds. You ever had any Craigslist buys or marketplace buys? They're all terrible.
Every single one. Yeah, I mean, I genuinely feel that. I feel like it's rare to come across a wonderful gem on a marketplace thing unless you're someone like my buddy Matt at Relentless and you are a professional used something buyer.
All right.
I feel like when I get bored, I look at Facebook Marketplace and I see stupid stuff where I'm like, oh, I should buy this. I should buy this. It's like, I have to like literally shake my head and be like, you don't need this. And then the ones I actually do purchase, I regret later. I'm like, this was a piece of shit. Like, there's a reason why they were selling this in the first place. Like, so I personally don't love buying used stuff unless it's like some cool vintage thing that you obviously only can buy used. But I don't know. That's just me. Like, I'm horrible to buy for because if I want something, I buy it. So like I'm the worst person to buy a birthday present for or a Christmas present for because if there's something new that came out that I want, I just go get it. Yeah.
I was a kid that I remember buying like wood screens right when I started. Like, I'd see somebody, oh my gosh, this dude's wanting $3 a screen. And I think I loaded up on like 300 wood screens at one time. Just because
I don't want to sound like a Scrooge when it comes to buying used stuff. There's nothing against buying used stuff. I just have done this since I was 17 years old.
Yeah. And you knew a lot more than I did at the time.
I bought a lot of used stuff in the beginning and I feel like the headaches were not worth it. Like so many times I would do same thing. Like the people have the mentality of, you brought up wooden screens. Even wood screens, aluminum screens, whatever, like you get what you pay for. I feel like there's two sayings that are super cringy, whatever. You get what you pay for and you got to spend money to make money. I feel like it should be on a plaque in everybody's fucking business because it's the most true thing ever. Like let's just talk about screens real quick. Like, you can go be like, well, I can get from my distributor, I can get screens for $22 or something. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, are the frames warped? Do you have registration issues? Do they hold registration or do they hold tension? Like, are they popping constantly? Are you having this and this issue? And it's like, most of them will say yes, 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 and yes to those questions. And it's like, well, that's why you're paying $22 a screen. Like, do half of your screens after you dip them in the tank, you take them out and they make a sloshy noise because they have fucking water inside of them?
Water
like,
in the welds.
Right. It's like, guys, stop buying shitty screens. Like, Frank and GSF have by far the best fucking screens. They might cost a little bit more, but they will last 10x the $22 screen you were buying. Like, stop fucking around. Stop buying stupid cheap shit. Like, you are hurting yourself by buying cheap shit. So that's where I, like, over all these years came to the realization of, like, it might take me longer to get the thing that I want, but I'm going to buy the thing from the right person. I'm going to do it right the first time is another thing you should have tattooed on the 3 rules of life. Just get the right tool for the right job. Quit fucking around. Like, that's where. So now I'm going on a dad tangent off of like what you said about buying used stuff, but it's like,
it's
super.
you got to do what you got to do, but
But it's the same with like inks and everything else. Like all these people are like, well, I get this ink because it's cheaper and this thing and this thing. It's like you are like, and then they're the first person to be like, I have fibrillation issues or I have bleed issues or I have this and this. It's like, it's because you bought the fucking bottom of the barrel ink. Stop fucking around. Like, just get the right shit.
That's been like my whole goal this year is once we got that coder, our EOM was basically dialed, and then like now it's like tension. Like, so every month we freaking put the tension on the screens and we'll run them through the blue water, and then like I let them, and every month has a different color. So like we'll know if it's from January or February, and so we'll know we usually give it like a month, and then we'll try to retension it to make sure it's good. But you're spending time doing that. But dude, the time you save on press setting up a job it's stupid.
Yeah, I sound like a broken record because we talk about it all the time, but like it's called screen printing for a reason. Like you are literally that tool. This screen should be your top priority. Like you said, like your dark room should have like a tension meter. You should be using an auto coder to get consistent coats every coat. Like I know everybody out there who coats screens thinks that they can coat perfect screens. I guarantee that screen versus the next screen versus your 30th screen are going to have different EOMs because you're doing it by hand. You are not keeping a consistent pressure perfectly to the mesh with the coder at the exact same angle through all of these jobs. There's no way for you to have like consistent EOM on all your screens if you're just winging it. So it's one of those things like when you can't afford it, automate in the darkroom, because if you have consistent screens you can measure, and then you can measure the tensions and check those often and everything, you will get X amount more jobs done a day because you will not have as much downtime. Something as stupid as a pinhole. Like people don't think about that. Like having an exposure unit with glass, or having a dark room that has a dirty fans in it or something. It's like all that lint that's blowing around on your screen is going to be a pinhole. The glass might be dirty, which is going to turn into a pinhole. Like all these things that you eliminate by automating the dark room, by having a CTS and an autocoder and everything, is going to stop so many stupid errors that you have on press all the time that are slowing you down or ruining a whole job or whatever. And it's like, you're like, why does my white look good on this job? Well, was it a screen you coated when you had just a little bit of emulsion left in the scoop coater when you coated? Well, your emulsion was too thin and you have no stencil. Like it's stupid stuff like that. That it's like you can eliminate all of those issues by having the right tool for the job. Like if you're just winging it all the time, expect to have winging it style fucking issues all the time. Like it's just what it is. So
I took our mirror off our exposure unit and I use it for like potential clients. I like write on it with like a neon marker, and I was like, it's in my office. I literally all right, who we're going to try to get this month, but I was trying to repurpose it.
That was something stupid that we realized, like we didn't even think of that when we went to CTS, and then we got, no glass on the exposure unit. Was, oh my God, we don't have pinholes anymore, or rarely.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's no glass. That's why. Like there's nothing to stop light from hitting this screen. It's just stupid stuff like that you don't think about. It's just it's part of learning. Yep. All right, next question.
Has any interview never been aired before? That might
yes.
be a question.
I can't say who, but yes.
Nice. I was curious.
a little inside baseball on some of these. Once in a while, you do an episode with somebody, and then you find out kind of who they really are, and you're like, I can't air this, or this person's going to get canceled. Like, or something happens and, whatever. And we've had actually a few that weren't anybody's fault. It's just like audio didn't work, but video was there and we had to just scrap the whole thing. Or, someone was on and then they got fired or something. And it's like, oh, well, we can't show that episode or something. It's, there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of like juice here. It's just shit happens, and sometimes you can't air it, but most of them have been on.
So, are you a believer in giving out bonuses?
Yes, but, and I might be wrong on this, but like for a while I would do some kind of bonus in like July when we were busy and I had the extra money and whatever. And then I found out that giving it to them, it was taxed and whatever. And it just made me feel shitty to be like, I'm giving someone, say you give someone $1,000 and they only end up getting like 700 of it. It's just like, oh, this sucks. So like, I try to do it in different ways or creative ways where they can get all of it, or more. I feel strongly in like having a workplace that they feel good and comfortable with a lot of perks all the time. But I'm also don't want to be that boss too that's like, oh, you have problems that are real life, pizza party. You know what I mean? It's like, like I don't want to be that either. So I try to toe the line with all of that stuff of like comfort and good workspace, and also like raises or bonuses whenever I can. It's just really, it's whenever we can is, I guess, the good answer for that. I feel like you screw yourself as an owner too by making it too common, I guess this is what I want to say. Like if everyone knows they're going to get a bonus in July, then it's expected. And then it's not special anymore. It's not whatever. They're just like, and then they just get bitter if it doesn't happen, and then you screw yourself. Yeah. So I would just say, if you have it and you can do it, do it.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to take a week off at like 4th of July and Christmas, and now we freaking stay swamped, so we hardly do that. But that's kind of where it came in. That's
the biggest one I would say that I do, is I give everyone the week paid off between Christmas and New Year's, which is always nice too, because it's the slowest time of the year and they all get it paid, but it's not coming off of their PTO. It's not coming off of anything. They just get a full paycheck for that week. So everyone gets to celebrate Christmas and then New Year's and have a little vacation. And we all get to come back fresh with like, oh, it's January. We're going to get motivated and, you know, have all these things. So I think that's kind of like the, I guess, bonus that everybody gets is the free paid off week between two holidays.
We'll be freaking slammed. It's like literally the day up until Christmas, and then like after that it just dies for 2 months. Like we usually take that week off honestly after Christmas, and it's like, all right.
I have a mental check in my brain of when work should start picking back up, because every year we have ISS Atlantic City in March, and I know basically after that show it'll start to pick up. So like it'll be February or something. I'm like, oh man, we're going to start ramping back up soon. And I'm like, nope, it's not ISS Atlantic City yet. Like it's not going to happen. I'm just used to that mental check of.
That's hilarious. We have one job as an event that happens every year, and it's around end of February. And that's literally what I tell the guys. I'm like, hey, that big job it's actually my college. I'm like, hey, it's that's coming up, and after that it's going to get crazy, and that's normally how it goes. It's like once that one job gets here, it's like full speed ahead.
After COVID, it's the Wild West, and it's never the same anymore. So I don't know.
Well, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But, I mean, gosh, it's another hate question. What kind of customers do you hate?
Hate questions. You know what's funny too? A side note on this is I've been doing like the topic Tuesday stuff on Instagram, and the ones that get the most engagement are questions that have to do with what do you guys hate? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like everyone loves to comment on shit that they're pissed off about.
Rattle. Yeah.
But if I ask like a question that's just like, what's your favorite ink? It's like the engagement is like down. But if I'm like, hey, do you guys like, what customers do you hate the most? It's like, brrr, like comment after comment after comment. All right. So what was the question? What kind of customers do I hate?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't mind most anything. I think the thing that I hate more is how customers feel entitled and treat my staff or me. I feel like when they come to us with this mentality of like, I'm going to get what I want no matter what, and you are a servant to me in some way. You know what I mean? Like they come in of like, this is what I need. This is what's going to happen. And this is what I'm just like, I don't have to fucking work for you. Like, I don't have to do this job for you. Like, fuck off. Like that to me is like, I will take somebody who's genuine and nice, but their order kind of sucks and it's confusing and it's all over the place. I will still be happy to do that for them. But as soon as someone turns into an asshole, that's where I'm like, nope, see ya, don't care, whatever. So I'm just going to say people who are dicks.
Okay. what do you suck at as a boss that you need improving?
What don't I suck at as a boss?
I've got a lot of bullets for myself on here.
I think the number one thing that comes to mind is, and I've been very honest about this, I think on the show, is I do not do well with confrontation. I, as a boss, suck at having hard conversations with people about anything. Like, I need it to basically be sunshine and rainbows when I come to work. Like, I need people to just be doing their job, not slacking off, not this, not that. And then when they do start to do something they're not supposed to be doing, I have a high tendency to put my head between my legs and duck into my office and just ignore the whole thing at all. Yeah. So basically, that being said, I just had to come to terms with that as a boss, which I think is a boss thing to do, is to realize that it's an issue and find a way to make it work for yourself. So I had a conversation with my management and said, hey, I suck at this. And they know I suck at this. Like, it's not like they're shocked. And I'm just like, I need you guys to handle this part of the job for me, and I will take care of you how I can. Yeah. And that's the agreement I have. So I come to work, I do my big picture projects, I do things that grow the business, I do this and that. And then when shit comes up that's a person issue that I would normally have to deal with, I don't. They do it for me. So that's the big thing that I suck at, is people management. It's not my thing at all. I want to run a screen printing shop and I want to print cool shirts, and that's what I do. All the other bullshit that has to do with everything else, I'm terrible at. So I will not do it.
Ours is like proofs and stuff, man. Like, I swear that's like half the reason graphics is awesome, because like everything starts to get mock-ups, and it's like, and it's like you approved this and you checked off on it. Like, you can't, technically. I mean, it happens. We're going to print something wrong every now and then, and but having that, like, we used to get in so many, like, not so much confrontation, but like we'd print an old design when it was their new logo or something that was something that needed to be updated, and I'm like, dude, proofs are. I will say it takes away so much stuff.
I will say arguments. Again, I know people know this already, but it took me a long time to get to where I am now. I don't even know, maybe 6 or so years ago, we forever did a mock-up where it was just a t-shirt mock-up. Like, it was, we would send an email with the invoice where it was just a photo of a, t-shirt we pulled from the internet, from SNS or whatever, and it had their artwork on it, and we'd send that to them for approval. And there was no sizing requirements. There was no nothing. It was just a photo. And I feel like we were just so used to the fact that there would be X amount of error rate of customers being like, I didn't like the color, or the mock-up looked like it was going to be this size, but in reality you printed it too big or too small or something. We were just kind of used to that happen once in a while. And it always sucks when it happens. It wasn't all the time, but it happened enough where I started keeping track of like error rates and whatever. And I can't remember who I talked to or whatever, but I ended up making a mock-up form, which is just in Photoshop for me, where it's all laid out, templated, whatever, where it's got the job title, the date, it's got the photo mock-up again, but it's on a shirt that we basically took a medium, took a photo, put rulers on it. And then we had a grid system now to where when I place a shirt from SNS, it goes over it and I can see, okay, a 11-inch wide print should be this, a 10-inch circle should look like this, whatever. So they can be pretty close to what they're supposed to be. And then under that is like, okay, how wide is the front print? How wide is the left chest? How wide is this and whatever the dimensions? And then we do every Pantone. Like, before it goes to the customer, we're Pantoning all of the art, whatever. And then it's, okay, placement. Is it 2 inches down on the front? Is it 6 inches down on the back? Whatever it is, it's all on this one mock-up approval. So that goes to the customer. And I swear our error rate went basically to 0, or like rarely something's messed up, because there's so much information on that, where it says in our terms, it says on the mock-up thing, it says whatever. Like, if you pay for this invoice, because we take payment up front, if you pay for this invoice, you are agreeing to this mock-up, you are approving everything. And then when someone comes back with an issue, it's like, which isn't as often anymore, it's like, well, you approved this mock-up. And everything you would need to know about this is on this. Like the placement,
Yeah.
the Pantones, the sizing, everything. But you can't come to me and be like, well, it's bigger than I thought it was. I said specifically it's going to be 10 inches wide. And I said these are the colors it's going to be. And I said this is what the placement was. So we made what we sent you. So I would say to anybody listening to this, as much as you think just sending a photo of a shirt is cool, I promise you, put all the stupid information on there and it's going to save you a ton of money because you're going to not be reprinting as much stuff or refunding as much stuff.
Agreed. Yeah, man. The next one's kind of funny. Have you ever seen a bunch of your shirts out in the wild, just roaming around together? Like, not the same ones either. Like, I'm talking a perfect thing where two people are right beside each other and they're wearing different shirts, but you printed them. Have you had that?
I have that happen on and off. I saw a couple shirts last night at the show, actually, that we had printed. Back when we did a lot of band stuff, I saw it way more. So like we would go to a show and we would see all these like hardcore bands or whatever, punk bands or something. And there would be so many kids at the show that all had shirts that we had printed. But to just run across like random corporate designs or something in the wild and having them next to each other isn't as common. Well, band shirts for sure. Definitely.
Do you have any weird quirks or quirks? Is that the word? Quirks?
Weird quirks?
Yeah, quirks.
Dude, fucking a lot of them.
Yeah, me too.
I chew my fingernails like a madman. So I don't know if that's a quirk, but they're fucking basically nubs. Like I know people that like say they chew their fingernails and I'm like, oh, that's cute. Like, do you have like 1/2 inch of skin over your fingernail? No, then you don't chew your fingernails like I chew my fingernails. That's a stress thing for sure, though. Like from childhood, I've chewed my fingernails ever since I was a little kid. I don't know if I have any other weird ones. I mean, I definitely have stuff that we probably can't talk about on this podcast, but other than that, normal human being things, probably not.
Have you ever been to another shop that you thought that they did something really cool and you wanted to bring to your shop?
Always.
Or just thought it was cool?
Always. Yeah. I visited a lot of hundreds of shops probably at this point. That's like one of my favorite things to do, honestly, is travel to anywhere and figure out what shops are in that area and just go see them. I do it all the time. Yeah. Like if it's not, I call it now because I have the privilege to say I'm going for Shirt Show or I'm going with M&R or I'm going by myself. But the excuse is I'm just going to go. Like if I drive to some city, I'm going to try to find a shop around to go. I will learn something or take a picture of something or bring something back to my shop literally almost every visit of some kind. Yeah. And it's always something stupid. And I say stupid, but it's not actually stupid. It's just something where it's always like, why didn't I think of that? It's rare that it's like mind-blowingly different where I'm like, oh my God, like how this person's a genius. It's always something like, like I learned one the other day that was like and this is, I guess we could call this a shop hack or something, but my rep who I bought print grip or pallet gel, whatever you use, says use this chemical to take lint off or whatever. Or I've seen people be like, oh, well, I put X amount of Dawn in water with whatever to take the lint off, whatever. All that shit sucks. Like it will ruin your print grip or your pallet gel, whatever you're doing. It will degrade it, whatever. The best thing to use is 90% or higher isopropyl alcohol. Takes it right off. And just you can go buy
100% or like diluted, I guess. Just straight.
I found at like Sam's Club or stores around me like a 91, but you can buy 99 on Amazon. Again, like I just started doing this recently, so like someone's going to be like, "Well, it's terrible," blah blah. But like, it works really well, and it's the best thing I found that doesn't have a million cancer warnings on it or something. Stuff like that is what I see at shops, and I'm like, oh, sweet. And I bring that to my shop. Or, I saw somebody who had a rack next to their reclaim where they had we have it in our shop now, where it's basically a 2x4 and then a 2x6 on the bottom and then another 2x4 where you have a slot basically to drop the screen in next to the rack that they put all their dirty screens on. And it's a perfect perch to like set a screen in that's the right height where you can sit there and just rip all the tape off and then set it back in your stack to like go through the machine. And it was something as stupid as that of like, why are my guys like grabbing a screen, setting it on the ground, like leaning it and like peeling tape off or whatever? It's like, this is a perfect height. You don't have to bend over. They don't have to do anything. They just peel it. It's like, it's always something super simple that you bring back. And it's like a million little shop hacks throughout the place.
Right.
And so I would say, and I've said this a million times before, but if you have any opportunity, anywhere you go visit another shop. 95% of them are going to be welcoming with open arms. Just be like, because people are excited to show their shit off. You know what I mean? Like, I think
it's
awesome.
good. It's good to have that shop that, that's like not too far from you to where it's like, you're like eating each other's competition, but just far enough where you can like spit off ideas and like just learn from each other. Like I've like Nikki and Kyle's shop, Cotton Street, same thing. Like, I pull up, it's funny. The coolest thing, that was kind of the question, was I pulled up to their receiving area and they have like one of those like dry cleaner little dings. Like, so like when you pull over, it bings, and I'm like, did that thing just beep at us? Like, I'm like, that's cool, because when customers pull up when you're putting on press.
That is awesome. That is a good one.
So this is kind of where I'm at. This will be the last one. So I've got two. I think I already mentioned it. I've got two great production guys. They they do kind of man oppress themselves, and there's, if it's a big, we kind of have a set number. If it's over like, honestly, like 200 shirts, then we'll kind of throw them on the same press just so it goes faster. But we've learned that everybody wants stuff yesterday. We'll just kind of have one man to each press, and then we just get more jobs out quicker. But some people would argue that. But I'm thinking, I kind of want to, like, it's really like if we started going to two shifts, like, would you put one on one shift, one on another shift, just because they're that dependable of people? If you thought like you wanted to run a second shift, or would you just like, but they work good together too, man. So it's kind of like a hard, like,
I feel like there's a couple ways you could go about this. Like, do you have other people other than the two press guys out in production?
We've got a catcher at the end of the dryer, and he's what I like to call a floater. He just like, he'll catch shirts, and then he'll, sometimes.
But do you have someone who can pull shirts off press, like on the unload station?
Not all the time, no. We kind of, because like I said, our average order value is like, let's be real, 50 to 75 piece job. That's usually what we're pumping out all day.
Right.
And
we had that too, where basically we'll have a press operator run, and then if it's anything 100 pieces or more, they would grab somebody from the office to unload. Yeah. Or from another department that was whatever. But I think maybe there's multiple ways you could go about it. One, you could see how many jobs, like get an average, like start keeping track and like get an average of like, all right, well, we're getting X amount of shirts done a day, a week, whatever, with two trained well guys on one press. And then do an average of, okay, well, I've got two presses and I got one running each one, and this is the amount of jobs we're getting done in a day. Or have one guy running one press, and then the other guy is setting up a job on another press, getting it registered and ready to go and get the approval. Yes. And then when this guy's done printing this job, they can switch and just keep rotating to where there's always a job set up ready to go, and they can just bounce back and forth.
Yeah, I call it the bounce technique. Dude, like,
I had a conversation with Tony Palmer on the show where he said that that's the fastest he's had any shop going, was to where they were constantly, there was always a job set up and ready to go on the next press. Yeah. Like even with a small crew, because it was like they went right from printing one job to printing the next job. So it's not like set up, print the job, tear down, set up another job, start printing. They were always printing. Like it was always just went, okay, last shirt loaded, walk over to the other press, go right into loading that job and getting that job done. And then there's a different two people or one person tearing down, setting up, getting it approved, to where then they just hop over to the next press and keep going. So I'd be interested in try that method and see, because you're never stopping printing at that point. You're just going job to job to job to job.
Right. Yeah, we actually did do that one time, and we had a third guy back there, and it worked like that. And and that was actually another question, was freaking training people printing wise. But like, he just like, it was one of those days, man. We thought he was like a blessing that came down to earth and to the shop. And like 2 weeks later, he was just like, hey man, found another job in another city. He was just gone. I was like, yeah. But I agree. I think that's the best way to do it.
But again, it's all numbers. Like, you don't know until you try things and kind of get an average and whatever. So
yeah,
I would say just play around with those options. I mean, you got the guys. It's not like you're not getting jobs done. You just need to figure out what the best way is for your. They might have. That's the thing, though, too, is like you as an owner might have an opinion of how you think it should be done, but you're not the one doing it. Like, they have to be comfortable in what they're doing, regardless. Like, yeah, you need to put your foot down and be like, guys, like, it's like that meme of like, this isn't a 2-person job, where it's like everything they're doing, like mixing ink, it's 2 people with one hand on us. Like, that's not acceptable. But like, okay, like, this works for everybody and everybody's happy doing this. Like, don't come up with a way where they're like, I hate this. This is stupid. But you're like, nope, this is what it is. I'm the boss.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that fine line you ride. It's like, you don't want to just like be the slave driver, but you want to like, I mean, you got to get shit done. I mean, we just talked about how much it costs to run a shop a minute. I mean, it's like, dude, if the more money that comes into here, the more you guys are going to get paid. And going back to that bonus thing, I mean, I think you could equate it into like a kind of like a bonus structure. Like, dude, how many working minutes did we successfully turn out this month? And, you know, was it better than last month? But
I think that's something that like you know, I'm going to equate this back to, you know, how like if you watch like Instagram or TikTok or whatever, it's like some health guru comes on and is like, eating grapes and strawberries is the worst thing you can do for your body. And it's like, because of the sugars. And then you watch another one and it's like, the best thing you can do for your body is eating grapes and strawberries. And it's like, it's the same thing of like with the print stuff. It's like you hear from some consultant or someone you know and trust of like, this is the way to go about it. This is the way, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then someone else comes along and is like, oh, that's a terrible idea. You got to do it this way or whatever. It's like, you really need a sample size of like 4 or 5 shop people you know and trust, and then just get the average or like try them all out and see what works for yourself, because there's so many ways of doing the same thing. And I don't know. I think you just got to do what works for you and try things out. And that's the best way to just do business. So again, I could tell you right now, like, this is the thing you should do. And it's like, people are going to be like, that's stupid. I don't want to do that. And cool. Do your own thing. Like, I don't care how you do it, as long as you're printing cool shirts and it's going out the door. That's all that matters.
Exactly. Agreed, man. So, okay.
Did you have one more, or you're done?
I think I might be done. I've got more.
Right, good.
We'll save that. We'll save
that for the next one. Yeah. I do want to say thank you for like attending. Well, to back it up, I think a lot of the story that you told, and this is something I admire about you or people like you, is going out and fucking hiring consultants, or like going to like seminars or going to shows or something, and just like absorbing as much knowledge as possible. Like I do that. So like I really respect people who do that as well, just because I know what I get from it. Yeah. And like, again, like we've done a couple spring breaks, summer camps, whatever, and you've come. So like, I just appreciate that. I'm in the works of possibly doing more of those. I'm still kind of dealing with some things, I'll say that. But once those are done, I'd like to do more of them. So if anybody's listening and anybody wants to attend another spring break or summer camp, let me know, send me a message, whatever. And if I get people who want to do it, I'm going to do it. So
yeah, man,
I appreciate it.
It was a blast. So when we came to the first summer camp at Andy's shop, we remember Josh, the Australian guy, the North Print guy. So he didn't know anyone from the U.S. Like, he literally just came over here. And I'm sure he talked to you guys, but like,
we talked to him. That was crazy. Like the last couple of times we did spring break or summer camp, they sell out in like 24 hours, which is fucking awesome. But like, we can see where they're coming from. And to me, that's like the most like like it makes my soul warm of like, oh, someone's willing to come from Texas or someone's willing to come from California or something. And to see Australia, you're like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I feel pressure now to put on a show because you were flying across the world to come here. Like, God,
he made it
so
worthy.
much pressure. He was great. He was awesome. Yeah, love that dude.
But the funny thing is he got in an Uber. Well, Jack, my buddy down the road, like me and him gave Josh a ride, and the first people he like talks to in America are like me and this other redneck guy that were from these
North Carolina accents.
He's like, what am I getting myself into? And my wife's over there like, oh my gosh, Steve Irwin. God rest his soul. He's just like, these Americans, like, and I love you, Josh. That was hilarious.
The perfect way to get introduced to Americans is someone with a Southern accent.
Oh God, it was funny, man. But there's so much memories from that thing, man. I mean, that was great. Good dudes, and I appreciate the compliment, man. I love meeting people in this industry.
I think it's something that not enough people do, to be honest. No, and I know it takes a certain kind of personality to be able to do that kind of thing, and it takes money and effort to like go do those things. But still, I think it's something people should really do. Like, you should really take the time to do these things because it will excel your knowledge base and your career so much faster.
Yeah, agreed.
Getting out and hearing other perspectives for sure. All right, I think we mentioned a couple in the show, but do you have any specific shop hacks you wanted to mention?
So I've got one that's never been said, and there's so many probably other ways to do it, but we're screen print and embroidery. So when we do size, or not really size changes, but like say a color change on a job, or there's say if you've got youth shirts that they're getting a smaller print, blah, 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 we'll take the hat backs that come on like Pacific headwear hats are the best because they have these perfect, like almost rectangle strips that come inside the hats.
Yeah.
And we'll literally just like recycle those things and write in a Sharpie, like size change or color change. And we'll put the color change on there and stick it in the collar. And we use those things like every day, just with, color changes or, even size changes. We'll do it too, just so it doesn't confuse the guy down the belt.
That's awesome.
You can send them down the belt. They don't burn up. I mean, the catcher knows exactly what's going on, and it keeps things.
We had one. I like the fact that it's going in the neck and it's not something you can blow away or it's whatever. Jackie, our end of dryer QC girl, we had a couple jobs over the last X amount of time or whatever where we were just doing a bunch of sleeves or whatever, and a couple sleeves got messed up where they thought it was a right sleeve or left sleeve. They looked at the mock-up, they were like, yep, whatever, go to press, and then realized that, oh, I did the wrong sleeve or something. Well, she's like, well, I'm just going to start putting tape, like, because she carts everything and then gets everything ready and then looks at the mock-up to make sure whatever. She started putting tape, like a strip of tape, on the sleeve it's going to go on. So if it's on a t-shirt sleeve, she'll just put a strip of tape here. So then when they look at the mock-up, whatever, it's just a visual thing of like, you have a stack of shirts, you're ready to print. That top shirt has a piece of tape on that sleeve that it's supposed to be on. So then it's just a mental like, okay, yeah, they're all on the right sleeve or left sleeve or whatever it is. So I just thought that was really cool. Like she came up with it and I was like, yep, that's awesome. That's perfect. It's like kind of like a idiot proof way of confirming it's on that sleeve. So,
dude, you gotta, I don't care how smart people are, man, you gotta idiot proof stuff or else.
Right. Again, it has nothing, it's nothing against anybody, but everybody has that brain fart or that fog of like, they might look at it, confirm it, like everything's in their brain. And then someone tells a joke or they get sidetracked or something and they go over to the press and start printing. And it's like, oh shit, actually it was the other sleeve. And then it's like, how many times have we all done that where we save the sleeve print for last? And it's like a 5-color front, 5-color back. And then we do the sleeves and realize the sleeves are messed up. It's like the whole thing's toast at that point. So sleeves are important to get right the first time. So I thought that was really cool. Just something stupid and simple of like, put a piece of tape on the top shirt of specifically what sleeve it's on. But the collar thing's cool. I like the hat inserts because A, you're recycling, which is nice.
Yeah. Exactly.
But B, it's it's those, again, it's nothing against anybody. It's just those little things to like kind of idiot proof the job to where it's less errors happening. I think is always awesome.
And we tried using a fogger the other day, or a steamer that we had in the embroidery room for like getting the solvay and stuff off. And we were printing a water-based job like 2 days ago. And I was like, it was like 600 pieces. And I was like, man, we have the like swamp coolers now back there that are kind of putting water in the air. And that was a Craigslist marketplace find, by the way. But we took the steamer back there and put it right beside our first white screen, and I was like, I mean, it was a 2-color job, but like that actually helped keep moisture in the air.
Yeah.
It was just like
a lot of people use the reptile foggers. They'll just run a hose from a reptile fogger.
I need and that was one reason coming to the summer camp, dude, is because I was trying to convince to a client that we can almost achieve the same water-based feel with a really good plastisol white, and it turns out we had to stick with water-based. But man, like I swear, you could hardly damn near tell the difference. Of like, I mean, you can, but like I was like, dude, people that are buying this, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's an awkward.
I feel like there's a lot of things. There's buzzwords where people are like, this has to be water-based or whatever. Yeah. And I get it all the time where certain customers are like, I want this to be discharge. And it's like, you're giving me a black ink on a purple shirt. It's like, this isn't discharge. It's water-based, and it's just water-based black. Like, you're just using buzzwords you heard that you think is like, this is the print I want. But it's like, that's not what this is. Like, we can achieve this multiple ways, whatever. So, again, that's what our job is. Our job is to have that knowledge and educate the customer. So whatever. All right. Quick takes. What shirt has your shop printed that you were the most proud of?
I mean, it's cool to see something cool that's mass produced that some big names are wearing. That's kind of like, you can kind of toot your own horn a little bit, but they're, that Jocko Willett guy, he's a big podcast guy, but he's got like a freaking energy drink company. He's a big part of this company in town that has an American made shirt that they strictly do American shirts, American printing, like everything's got to be American from sew to seam. And, I think that was probably the coolest because it was just 100% American made shirt. It was printed by us. It was all just everybody. And I know the guys that are sewing those things, and it's like, it was literally made in our backyard. You got to be a part of the team on that one. That was cool. Yeah. It was super cool. And we still work for them, and they've kind of shifted to, my town's it used to be a huge textile town, and like NAFTA, we were actually the number 4 or 5, I can't remember, dyingest city in America when like the whole NAFTA thing happened, just with textiles. Mm-hmm. And like they were sewing like hosiery mills and sewing. I don't know how far you are, but I went to North Carolina to go to the Gildan facility where they have Eden. I think Eden's where that is. That's like 30 minutes down the road. But the plant now, they're like doing more denim. They sew jeans, and the t-shirt manufacturing is like went up to New York. I don't know what part of New York actually, but they're kind of like us. They're making them up there, and I think they've got another contract shop right down the road that they're still doing that for. And that's, I always hear you talk. You're like, man, I think it'd be cool to do like a movie theater or something, just something off the wall, different. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I think it'd be kind of badass to make an American made shirt right here in freaking town. And it would be. It's a lot of. Yeah, and then we already know printers that would love to probably use it if it was at a reasonable price. I mean, I just feel like it's one of those things too where people think that screen printing is a fun thing to get into, and then they realize there's 9 million variables and all these things that go into it, and they're like, "Fuck, why did I do this?" To me, I think a movie theater is like cool. I can have a room with a projector and seats, and if worst case scenario nobody comes, I get to sit in there and eat popcorn and watch a movie all by myself. So, fuck them. Yeah. If you could snap your fingers and change one major thing about your shop, what would it be? We're in that small town where it's like everybody comes to the front, and we still like, we have to have an open sign on. We have to have, the customer service person just sitting there, like basically, I mean, they're taking orders, they're answering the phone, but like if we had like a designated pickup area, I think that would be it would help us just with the confusion and not having things so chaotic up front. So I've like thought about like I'd have to tear down a wall, but like making another kind of loading dock area where our production area is. Cause dude, we're in like a long, my shop's kind of weird. It's like, it's a long, narrow production facility. And like, you can have fans all you want, but like, there's really, we have an exhaust, the dryer's got exhaust going out. And we have like one, I don't know, 3-foot exhaust just sucking hot air out. But like, if we just had a damn garage door or a loading dock door, that would make the world of difference. And it could be a pickup spot.
You're describing my shop. My shop is very long and narrow. And one of the best things we did is we just bought these like big roll up doors and we cut a giant hole in the wall and we just put it in. Like we have I think it's a 10-foot by 10-foot roll up door that we put in just to get the press in. But now it's just a giant roll up door that we open in the summertime. Like every day, as soon as they get there, they open the door up and there's just a 10-foot by 10-foot hole in the wall. Yeah. And you can't load anything or unload anything because the G3 is right in front of it. Like you can't get around it. Like you can get around it, but I mean, you can't like unload pallets there or anything. It's just a fucking door. It's just a hole wall. But I would say if you can do that, because then it's awesome in the summertime. It's just, you're basically getting all that airflow.
Yeah. That's hopefully there's a lady right across. She's like our neighbor. She's the nicest old lady ever, but it's her land behind where I'd want to put that door. So I think I would probably have to end up just like buying her land and just like, hey,
just put the door in and then you can just stare into her property.
Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. So, but yes, that would be definitely the number one thing I would do.
All right, last one. Top 4 favorite movies of all time.
Oh, I've been thinking about this one. So that was a hard one. I mean, you can't go wrong with. I love Forrest Gump, man. I watched Forrest Gump. I fucking love
Forrest Gump. I love that movie.
I've seen it like 100 times, like literally.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a history buff. Like it's just so funny how they just like put
spliced them all in there.
Yeah, he spliced them in there. That shit's hilarious.
So good. It's classic.
The other, this is probably me and my dad used to watch this one all the time, but Old School. I love the Will Ferrell Old School.
Just recently rewatched that.
Yeah, me and my buddies, we were like we're freaking Will Ferrell when like he's talking to the kids about having a nice little Saturday and going to Home Depot and might go to Bed Bath and Beyond. Who knows? We're like we're that guy. We're that old guy
at
that's
that
like
point in life. Yeah,
yeah. So that's probably another one.
It's great. It's a classic. I'm not huge into comedies, but that is definitely one that's like on my list of must-see comedy movies.
Yeah.
All right, you got 2.
Yeah. The third one's another comedy, so The Waterboy. I love The Waterboy, man. I can watch it and oh my God. I know
it seems like a very Southern movie, though, too.
Hey, Waterboy!
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, shit. I was a big baseball guy growing up. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with Sandlot. The 4th of July scene is the best. Like every time I see that, it's when 4th of July is here, I'm like, dude, Sandlot, I got to watch it. And like, they're like,
I haven't seen it in a very, very long time, but I remember I watched it a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one comes up a couple times. Pretty much like you said, anybody who's really into baseball talks about Sandlot.
Yeah, and the dog. I mean, dude, Hercules. We got the shop dog here, man. Mac. He's.
Isn't the house owner James Earl Jones in that movie?
Yes. Yeah. Classic.
Comes out at the end.
Oh, the Lion King. Speaking of James Earl Jones, Lion King's up there too. Lion King has so many like subliminal meanings. I feel like. I mean, he's check. Hold on. You look at him. Look, that's Simba.
Oh, look at that! You got Lion King on you.
Yeah. So like, I kind of feel bad not even bringing that up, but yeah,
that's funny.
I don't know. I'm Simba.
I love having this question at the end because you get to know somebody and you kind of feel how they are as a human being, and then their movies always line up. Where it's like this wraps up this person. Like basically every movie you just described is your personality.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
So it's perfect. It's good.
Did you see my question I texted you last night?
The deceased artist. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it on my ride home, and because we were talking about how Ozzy just passed away. So we were saying, what would be your top 4 deceased artists or whatever? And I got thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, the first one that came into mind was Lemmy, because I was a big Motorhead fan, and I got to go see Motorhead with my dad. So, like, that always stands out to me. I just thought he was a fucking badass, how he lived his life and everything. And how he just hung out at his local bar, and he was just a local legend or whatever.
Nice.
I think a lot about artists. For me, it's more movies than I think. Like, more movie people stood out, actors, than music artists stood out to me. So, like, my favorite of all time is Robin Williams. So, like, Robin Williams is the top of my list there.
Nice.
I was trying to think of, like, other people. I love Val Kilmer. I don't know. I'll have to save the other one. I can't think of, like, do you have some quick of, like, who you would pick?
Ronnie Van Zant, Leonard Skinner, God, best band of all time. Love them.
Southern boy, yeah.
Stevie Ray Vaughan, best guitar player of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Dude, that dude gets to play a Stratocaster like no other. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
I love Chris Cornell. I mean, Chris Cornell was a dude that him and Eddie Vedder together.
He popped up in my head when I was thinking of it last night. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was
him and Eddie Vedder there when they did Hunger Strike.
Yes.
That song's great.
I've seen that on YouTube, like where they're singing together, and it's like, oh my God, you imagine being in that room, like just.
Well, it's just those Seattle bands, you know?
Yeah. And I grew up to, this is probably way off cue, but Mac Miller, man. I was a freaking diehard Mac Miller fan growing up, listening to rap, and I was like, dude, when he went, that was a sad day. But
I know a lot of people who talked about that, but I didn't know a single Mac Miller song when that happened. So it's not my area, but yeah, I understand.
Dude.
Anyway, Zach, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for just, dude, honestly, seriously, like my heartstrings as far as like someone who cares about the show and cares about fucking stuff enough to make notes and whatever. It means the world to me personally. So like, seriously, like, thank you for taking the time to do that. And just, again, like hearing your story and the whole thing with how the universe seems to have pushed you in this direction is pretty awesome. And I hope to see you at another show or another learning experience or whatever.
Yeah, man, I can't wait, and just trying to see where technology, dude, it's scary. It's crazy how fast that stuff's just developing, and everybody's going hybrid and digital. But I don't know.
I feel like it's more important than ever before to like keep up. Dude. Like 5 years ago, you could just be like, "Oh, I know enough about screen printing," but now it's like, "What's the new thing? What's the new automation? What's the new whatever?"
Yeah,
it's a must at this point.
We just got the new Mamaki last week, man, and it's kind of a, oh shit, like what is this thing going to do? What everybody says it's going to do, and they're going to screw up. Like I've heard so many horror stories. Like, it's
probably a little of both, to be honest.
Probably a little both, but yeah. I mean, it's funny. I just think that, but it's cool, man. I mean, you got to adapt with anything that comes through, and it's like, man, like. If you don't, you're stuck behind. But if you
also have to trial and error too. Like you have to take some risks to find out if it's what you want to do or not. Like sometimes you just got to buy the thing or buy the used thing on Craigslist or whatever you got to do to fucking figure out if it's worth it or not. All right, dude, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go to the fair and eat awful fair food and watch rednecks smash into each other in cars. So
that sounds awesome.
It is the Derby's tonight, so I'm gonna go watch the Devil Derby and eat fair food. Nice. So
we're gonna go to a swim. We're going to a night swim at a local pool and watch a 3-year-old attempt to jump off a diving board.
All right, later, dude. Have fun.
Man.
See ya.
All right, brother. See you, man.
Later.
Bye.